Hey everyone, this is Katrine. Hello. Getting used to doing these videos. It's awesome. It's an exciting feeling. It's a learning curve for me too. So bear with me and thank you for your patience and your love and giving, I appreciate you spending the time with me. I'm hoping that you can take something away from my messages, whether it be for you or a loved one. In this video, I wanted to talk about the beginning stages of self-awareness. How did I start this journey? And some people might relate, so I wanted to help out, especially for those that don't know what it is they're going through, and they're going through a flood of emotions and they find themselves depressed, sad, and not happy, and they just constantly feel all these overwhelming emotions and they don't have somebody to reach out to or speak to. And I'm hoping that this video will help. I was there. I understand. You're not alone. Now take a deep breath. Does that make you feel better? You are not alone. It is absolutely normal. Let's breathe, take that in, and I want you to be kind with yourself and to give yourself the space because you're growing. When we are growing, there is going to be pain. And the reason why you might be feeling all this turmoil and the flood of emotions is because there are many things trying to break out from inside of you. Your authentic self is telling you you are not happy because there's so many things that you're not looking at. It's like your inner child is going, hello, I'm here, and you're just not paying attention. You're not paying attention because you don't know how to pay attention. You're not paying attention because there's so many emotions you don't even know where to begin from. You don't even understand what all this is, okay? So how did it all start with me? Maybe if I tell you my story, you can pick something, relate from that, and then with your questions, then I can break it down and go deeper. My own self, my own soul, was seeking out a different way of living. I had a normal, like if I can use the word normal, childhood. I didn't feel there was any abuse, no beating, or no violence in that way. My parents were divorced. That's huge, I guess. The reason why I said it the way that I said is because so many parents, unfortunately, so many grown-ups get divorced, and it becomes the norm that we don't realize that is something that we need to address as an emotion, So yes, my parents were divorced. I grew up with my grandparents, and then later on with my aunt and uncle and my cousin. So all that, I guess that experience caused me to feel things that I didn't know that I could express to my environment, to the people around me. So when I did start expressing my emotions, it had gotten toxic already. I was having depressive thoughts. I was having very fluctuated emotions, suddenly really, really high, and suddenly really, really happy because I was excited. Friends were coming to visit, and then I would feel really low because it was just a temporary fix. So if you're feeling all of that, it is normal. And what you can trust is your own self. So my own self, my own soul was trying to break away from that, okay? And afterwards I got married, and I stayed in that marriage, and because I didn't know who I was, I hadn't resolved those issues. The marriage didn't work out, and I felt, and because I didn't love myself, I didn't know, and these are things that take detail, and so I will make more videos. But like to give you as a nutshell for you to understand where I'm coming from and my story, I didn't know how to love. I didn't know how to expand in the marriage because I didn't know who I was. So it didn't work out, and the marriage ended, and my self-discovery journey began. My self-discovery journey had started while I was still married in 2010. My marriage ended in 2017. And so you do understand that was a long time. However, it wasn't, I was still struggling with a lot of things internal. So what I can tell you to make you feel more relaxed is, in this turmoil, in this chaos that you're feeling inside, you feel like there's a typhoon, like, you know, turning around, and it's gonna, like a hurricane, and your emotions are like all over the place. Your own soul knows how to guide you, and that is actually telling you that, you know, you need to reach out to someone. You need to speak about it, to unravel, to you know, to make all that, those emotions, express each and every one, to discuss and see where they're coming from. So our soul knows, is a higher you know, wiser entity, being. And so it is guiding us. And what happened with me is I had a shift, an internal shift of my soul, which I didn't know that was a shift at the time, that started opening the gate for me to start receiving all this information. Like, I didn't start, you know, realizing I needed to, like, I wanted to read, for example, books. However, I believe, because I was so sad, that me wanting to change my reality was enough for my soul to seek out for the answers. So I started, and there was a lot of crying. So if you're crying all the time, if you feel depressed, absolutely understand you. It is part of the process. Okay, so don't judge yourself. Why am I crying? Something's wrong with me. It is part of the growing process, and I'm here to help you throughout this stage. If there's anything that you don't understand, you can reach out to me in authenticlife54@gmail.com, and I'm more than happy to assist. So how did it start? It started with having a breakthrough, and then I had this urge that came from within me to want to write constantly. Writing helps a lot because it brings out what's inside of you. And what I would add to that, which I realized later on that helped me, is recording yourself. Even if it means recording yourself crying and sobbing, do that. Create that relationship with yourself to feel safe in order to start taking all those emotions out. And then I always had the questions of, who am I? Why am I feeling sad? Is this all that is meant to be? So I had those questions from within me already. You know, I kept asking myself those questions. So my inner self, my soul, was seeking for the answers. This is why, if you hear you need to ask empowering questions, this is why they say it. Because when you ask for something, you receive it, right? When you ask your father, your mother, your friend to ask for something, you say, I want this, they give it to you. It's the same with your soul. So once you start having these questions, what am I, where am I, things start taking place. People come into your life, or you hear about a book and you start reading. So that's how it happened with me. I started crying. There was a lot of crying because that is cleansing. Okay, crying is cleansing. It brings out everything that you have just had in there for so long that you are. It's like an attic. It's like an attic that was closed and you never opened it. By the way, I love metaphors. I hope they help. I have a lot of fun with them because I believe it helps get the message across. So it's like an attic, dark room. You have these emotions for many years, and suddenly the room is so full that the door starts rattling because it needs to open. And that's where you find yourself. Oh my God, I'm married, I have kids, and I have a job, and suddenly, just when I think everything should be going well for me, why? Everything is fine. I have everything that society wants me to have, and I have it. Why am I feeling depressed? Right? If you're feeling that, it's normal. What I would say is, for now, allow everything to come out of you, whether that be looking at the YouTube videos, whether it's mine or anybody else that has been through similar experiences, to help you, to reach out, to create a community whereby you can express those emotions and feel safe. Okay, Don't try and understand the emotions. Don't try and make sense out of them yet. Because imagine you're going into that dark room and you're trying to find something. You won't be able to at the moment. You have to let everything come out for it to be all over the house. And then one by one, you're going to look at, what is this? Well, I mean, I didn't even know this thing was in the attic. Do you understand? So how did it start with me? Same. A lot of crying, a breakthrough of emotional, like suddenly I was so depressed. I was like, I can't do this anymore. God, please help me. And that's when everything just shifted inside of me. But I didn't get the answers the next day. It has been 10 years and ongoing. And this is why I love this journey. This is why I've made it my life purpose. This is why I believe it is my life purpose. Because it is ongoing. It's never ending. And our inner world is so huge, so vast, that it is nothing compared to our outside world. And you know what's magical? Through our inner world, we can create our outer world. This is our message for today. And I hope it helps. I hope you can breathe a little bit and allow things to flow. And always remember, stay authentic.